This is Drew, and I'd like to welcome you guys back to Fraganomics. Today we're going to go to the house of VERTUS. Now, this is not a house that I know a lot about, but I do have a couple of fragrances that I want to bring to the guys that watch my channel. Now, this fragrance was a blind buy for me a while back based on a review I heard from TLTG Reviews.
One of the best smelling fragrances I've ever put my nose on. This is magnificence, this is elegance, this is captivating, this is sensual and intoxicating, alluring. All of these super flattering ways to describe this fragrance.
Over there with Ross. And I heard him talking about he had smelled it on somebody and it was the best fragrance he had ever smelled. And usually my nose and his nose pretty much had lined up. This is before I started the channel, so I went on and bought it. And the fragrance we're going to talk about today, like I said, is by VERTUS, and it's called Vanilla OUD. And of course, we're going to do a deep dive and our first impressions as soon as we get back. And we're back, and I want to thank you guys again for dropping by my channel. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment below. Let me know what's going on over here at Fraganomics. Is helping you guys out as far as your fragrance journey. And as we say over here at Fraganomics, over here, fragrance is not just a scent for us. This is our signature. And with that being said, let's go to the house of VERTUS. All right, guys, this is a woody vanilla oud caramel. It has warm, spicy, sweet, powdery, balsamic, musky, and aromatic fragrance. Let's see what else I got to say about it. Now, the price of it says around $133. See what Joma Shop. Joma Shop said you can get it, 100 ml bottle for $109.99. This particular fragrance is rated a 4.27 out of 5 with 544 votes. Now, this fragrance has been around a while. This was launched in 2015. And let's get into the notes behind it. This thing has a lot going on. Oh my goodness. It has saffron, apple, rhubarb, and bergamot at the top. Then it says cashmere wood, rose, jasmine, violet, and cyclamen in the mid. And then in the base note, it just got everything happening. It's got vanilla, oud, caramel, tonka bean. It's got sandalwood, gagwood, cedar, patchouli, musk, and veteran. Got a hodgepodge going on there. God, duh. That's what the pros and cons are. Pros said that it's smoothly blended, elegant, luxurious bottle presentation, excellent value at discounted prices, perfect for cool weather and evenings, stays on clothes for multiple days, versatile, it says approachable, rich, gourmand, burnt caramel dry down, beast mode longevity CRs, and consistent mass appealing compliment getter. And then the cons over here says a high price point for retail. Underwhelming oud for natural oud enthusiasts. Requires 30 plus minutes for the scent to settle. Too cloying for high heat that develops off-putting sweaty skin accord. It's redundant for owners of similar DNA. CR is overwhelming in small places. Polarizing rhubarb and green apple notes. Requires maceration to reach full potential, and a harsh, sour, medicinal opening. Seems like the guys are 50-50 as far as what they feel about this particular fragrance. Got a small fluff piece talking about discover the irresistible blend of a creamy vanilla and rich oud in this fragrance. This captivating fragrance balances sweet with deep smoky notes, creating a warm and sensual scent perfect for any occasion. Now for a fluff piece, there's not a lot going on, but let's go ahead and spray the fragrance and see what's going on. All right, this is what the bottle looks like. It's a very heavy duty glass bottle. Let me get it to focus here so you can see it. And let's see what kind of lid. Lid got a little bit of weight to it, so it definitely doesn't feel cheap, and it is magnetic, but I don't know if I would trust it to hold a bottle. Actually, it's doing a pretty good job, but on this one, I think I still grab the bottle because there's a considerable amount of glass in this particular presentation. Let's go ahead on and get him off, get him on the sprayer, and see what's happening. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's give it a second, see what we got going on here. And there it is, guys.
Whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
All right, as soon as you spray this fragrance, this is what you can expect. This is vanilla and caramel, saffron, got a little bit of a sourness to it, just a little bit, which would be rhubarb. Now the apple I don't get in the top note, even though it says it's there, and just a tad of citrus to kind of cut it up a little bit. That's what you're gonna get. But just think of it as like a vanilla caramel oud with rhubarb and a good bit of saffron with some sweet woods going on in the back. That's the best way I can describe this fragrance. Now let me give it a second, see what's going on, see how this thing developed. I wore it a few times, actually trying to figure out the best, time to wear it. But we're gonna talk about that in a minute. It has a little bit of floral as far as mixed in, but it's not what's out in the air. You're talking rose, jasmine, violet, cyclamen. I'm not for sure exactly what that smells like. All right, looked up this cyclamen. It says that the odor profile is a fine synthetic note replacing the refined, light, clean, and mysterious scent of cyclamen flower. I don't know what that means, but it makes it, I guess it makes kind of cleans the fragrance up so it's not super heavy. If you guys have watched any of my videos, you know I'm not super heavy on a lot of these heavy ouds. This one has got a good bit of oud in it also, but this is a little bit different. Now, if you get it up close, this is like, and when I say up close, like somebody come and hug you. To me, you're getting more of the actual oud itself with sandalwood, tonka bean to rate the fragrance. Now, for me, I've told you guys before, heavy ouds don't really get me worked up. This one's been a little bit different on my skin. As you see, I've worn it a few times trying to get it figured out also. But personally, I think I just been wearing this one in the wrong time of the year. This right here needs cool weather because it's gonna stand up as far as when the wind hits it. This is something that could get cologne real quick if you try to wear this in hot weather. And that's where I was wearing it at for the most part. But I tried it in the fall one year, which was last year, and actually I liked it once I figured out the time of the year to wear it. Cause if you put this on in the summertime, this thing will be heavy and clawing, and you'll be like, man, this ain't it. You gonna get some, somebody that with a sensitive nose, old grandma, who in the world got all that on? This was one that could offend. So, if you try to pull this off in warm weather, one spray, and I think you need to go on about your business. Because on my skin, this thing lasted a good bit. I think it was on my skin probably 10 hours easy. And I know I could still smell it on my clothes the next day when it was time to wash them. So this is not a weak fragrance at all. This one I'm gonna rate 8.75 out of 10. Like I said, I really don't think I've given this one the chance that it really deserved. Because when I first got it here, and tried it, I didn't like it. And it was middle of the summer. I'm like, what in the world is Ross talking about over there? It's the 10 out of 10 or whatnot.
But VERTUS Vanilla Oud, one of the best smelling fragrances I've ever put my nose on.
Yeah, I'm not saying a 10 out of 10 because I'm just not too much into heavy ouds. But it is a good fragrance. It smells better when the weather is cooler and out in the air. And it's definitely going to be a situation where, it's skin chemistry based. It's not going to smell the same on everybody, I don't think. All right, we talked price, $110. We talked time of year, which is going to be fall, winter. This is just my opinion. In the spring, summer, I'd probably slide this one to the back of the shelf. The occasion on this one, I think, it's definitely not a gym scent. Anything with ouds in it, as far as I'm concerned, way too heavy. You got oud and caramel going on in it. This thing could get sweet and rhubarb, I'm sorry. It could get sweet and thick and ugly pretty quick.
You're goddamn right.
So this is definitely not something you want to wear when you run around the gym trying to get some exercise. This is something, as far as I'm concerned, something semi-formal to dress all the way up. If you got some regular clothes on, say you're going out to a picnic or whatnot, something outside where the wind will be catching your scent profile and kind of, wafting it around and whatnot. I think a fragrance like this is wonderful because it's gonna hang around for an awful long time. But I don't think this is a fragrance that's good for office. Meaning unless you just put like a half a spray on and leave it at that, because if it's a real enclosed area, this one could get cloying pretty quick. All right, is this a must-have? Like I said, I need to give more of the oud fragrances more of a chance, but a lot of it is based on my skin chemistry. Some things are not going to agree with me that may, go wonderful with you, But I honestly think if you can get a sample of a few of these VERTUS fragrances, especially this one right here, you're an oud lover, you're going to love it anyway. And even if you're not a super oud lover like me, it's heavy on the oud, but they got a lot of caramel in it to cut the oud up so it doesn't have that super oud funk like a lot of them have. This one does not have that because they've sweetened it up a lot to bring the oud, back under control, so to speak. I'm just not into the aromatic kind that's got that heavy underarm funk type of deal going on with that. Doesn't do anything for me. All right, guys, we talked price, we rated fragrance, we talked time of the year. And I honestly think that, if you're an oud lover, especially you're a fragrance lover, period, you don't have any ouds in your collection, this is a nice mild oud to start with. And I think that, try this one, I think you'll be thanking me for bringing this one to the channel. All right, guys, VERTUS Vanilla Oud. This one I pretty much like. I'm serious. This is not, the typical oud, as far as what's been hitting my nose here lately. And with that being said, guys, let's get this thing wrapped up. See you guys at the next one.